Wow, okay. One Piece chapter, 771. I am loving this arc. I mean, just loving it. At first, it was just because I thought, even the side characters have a moment to, be amazing, be successful in defeating their opponents. It's just like, okay, so this is a kind of world where anyone can be fantastic, anyone can be amazing. But then I started thinking as to way back in the Marineford arc, and white people were saying, there's going to be a bigger war than this one in the future against the entire world government, against someone who knows the true history of the world. And I'm thinking, it's like, of course, obviously it's going to be Luffy, but he's going to need an army. And I'm thinking, oh my god, here it is. Here is the growing army that's going to come in with Luffy at the end of the series. At least I assume. And all these people who are beating the Don Flamingo family one by one, they're going to be like the commanders, the captains of this army. And it's just blowing my mind that we're building up to that great moment. And it's just, I mean, I'm just loving this arc. I'm loving it because it's like the beginning of this vast army that's going to come in and support Luffy near the end. And, it gets me invested in all these characters, in their matches, and their dialogue, and their personalities. And I just love that about any series, really. When you can get me invested in even the most minor characters that might not be seen in the future, that in itself is just amazing. But anyway, this chapter focuses on the fight between Baby 5 and Sai and Don Chinchao versus Lao G. And it really doesn't go how you would expect it to go. As we already see that Lao G is kicking Don Chinchao's ass, which is impressive enough as it is. Because, Don Chinchao is 500 million berries, and Lao G is an old man. But, he's still out there just kicking him in the eye, kicking him in the face, just doing some impressive moves. And really, the rest of the chapter is mostly comedy, but with some great character development for a lot of people, but especially between Don Chinchao and his son, Sai, and Baby 5. Surprisingly, I thought Baby 5 was just, one of those, with the little quirks. But then I'm thinking, a lot of quirks actually have very tragic backstories. And Baby 5's backstory was no different. I mean, Baby 5 has gone through hell. I mean, from a little child, and she's told that she's completely useless and that in fact she's a burden for the people around her, even her own parent. I mean, that hurts. And as sad as it is, it's kind of true in a lot of places. Sometimes when you're trying to survive, you need to make sure that people who don't need food don't get fed. Because, they don't need the food as much as you do, or as much as someone else does. And it's sad to see, but sometimes that's the baby. The baby is left behind because, taking care of a baby when you barely have any food or money or clothing, it just makes no sense. And it's sad, but it happens. Babies are abandoned in the middle of the woods because the parent can't take care of them when they can't do anything else. They have no other options. And to see that's what happened to Baby 5, it's just heartbreaking. But also at the same time, that kind of created her personality as to, I'm willing to do anything for anyone who wants me. That's why she's so loyal to the Don Flamingo family, because, they need her, or at least they create the illusion for her that she's needed. And it really hurts me when Lao G says, if you want someone as convenient as her on your side, go ahead and take her. And just like, ouch. Because poor Baby 5, she's just been used her entire life. But now, here comes Sai. Now, at first it's funny because, Sai accidentally says something that makes her think they're going to get married. And she's already trying to be like a housewife, tying his bow tie or whatever that thing is. And of course, Don Chinchao, even during his fight with Lao G, is saying, "No, son, I don't approve of this marriage. You're already marrying some other lady who's the leader of this other navy or this other fleet." And Sai's like, "Look, Dad, I don't care who I'm marrying. I don't care about getting married. I just want this chaos to end." And it's funny because while it is happening during a fight, it does show some, familial bond that's always been famous in One Piece. But anyway, Lao G also has some nice comedic moments where he's supposedly dying from failing health, and Baby 5 saying, "Don't die yet, Lao G, we still need you." And his ghost is just like, "Ooh," he just sucks himself back into his body. He's like, "I heard someone needed me, but I couldn't really hear that clearly." It's like, what the hell's going on? But it's funny, and the fact that they can bring in this comedy even during such intense fighting is just, again, amazing. But anyway, Of course, you know, Sai accidentally says, well, if you want to do anything for me, Baby 5, then kill yourself. Now, clearly, he didn't think she'd go through with it, but the fact that she was about to blow her own head off, I mean, as soon as I saw that image and she's smiling while holding that gun to her head or her arm to her head, I'm just like, whoa, they just brought possible suicide into this series. I mean, this series has done a lot of shit, but suicide is like a big one. But again, Sai is telling her, don't do it. Are you crazy? And of course, Don Qingjiao is saying, no, let her do it. You have to be cruel. You're going to be the leader of this Hoppo Navy. And Sai is like, Dad, shut up. I don't care. I'm going to do what I want. And the fact that he kicks his own father, and his father's proud of him for doing so, it's been done a lot in other series. Like, you stood up to me, your own parent, for what you believed in. I'm proud of you, son. You know, you're really proving yourself as a man. And I love seeing that in any series. But anyway, Lao G goes all Master Roshi on us and just bulks himself up. And I'm just like, what the hell? And just knocks Don Qingjiao away. And as soon as he comes in to attack Sai, Sai just roundhouse kicks him in the head. And I assume the kick, you know, kind of like throws off vibrations, and he goes all through it, Lao G's spine, and just like, damn, just breaks everything in, you know, like a big path, the same way Don Qingjiao's needle head broke an ice continent in half. And anyway, he's just saying like, well, if you don't need her, you know, if you don't need Baby 5 anymore, I might as well just marry her. And of course, Baby 5 is like, oh, yay! And it's just, you know, chaotic everywhere. And it ends with the saying, you know, Lao G lost and Baby 5 is lost in love. Now, again, like I say, this is a great chapter, and it just shows me like how great this arc is going to be for the future, because it's building up so much. It's building up all these characters that are possibly going to come back in the future for this big war that's going to happen between the world government and Luffy. For those of you who have been thinking, why are we focusing on these characters? They're not important. It's gonna make you look like an idiot when you go into the, you know, future chapters and these people come back and saying, oh my god, they are important. It's like, well, yeah, of course. Eiichiro Oda never creates a character that's gonna be completely useless. They always come back in some way or form. They always have an influence on the world, and that's what makes One Piece amazing. Either way, I'm running out of breath because I'm just so excited for this chapter. This chapter was amazing. I loved it. And really, I don't know what to expect in the coming chapters, but the fact that 2 have already lost, Mac Vice and Lao G, and supposedly Baby 5, but she's just in love with Sai. So either way, they're losing family members. The Don Quixote family is, you know, quickly losing. You know, we're closing up some battles. I know the top executives are going to be safe for last, but I'm wondering who's going to, you know, go down next. Now, I think it could be Bartolomeo versus Gladius. That's a fight that's going on. Diamante is still fighting Kiros and Rebecca. Dellinger is fighting someone. I don't remember who exactly. I think it was the guy with the boxing gloves and exploding fist. So that could be an interesting match. But again, like I'm saying, this is probably the beginning of just a great army that's going to follow Luffy in the future. And if so, this army is going to be amazing. These guys are kick-ass, they're incredibly strong, and they have great characterization. And it just makes me love this arc and appreciate the series that it's supporting. But just, I mean, wow. Just wow. That's all I can say about this chapter. Can't wait for the next one. Till then, I'm Tony Dragon. Bye-bye.